this is a really fascinating story, and it kills me to say that like nobody really knows about that stuff except you, evidently, because I've never heard anybody comment on that. And when I got those records and heard what I did, I'm like, wow, I
Yeah,
got to play with Paul Motian. I really got to play with Paul Motian because
yeah,
I after that I ended up playing in his big group for 6 years. But before that, that was the first time I met him. Was that recording session, and it literally came up like maybe 5 days before the recording session. I think it was supposed to be another saxophonist with Chris, and
oh,
they couldn't make it or something happened. I don't know what. And I don't know why Paul called me up, but he got my number somehow. And it's like the like the usual story, like Paul Motian here, the Matt, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, funny joke. Who's yeah, but yeah, all right, it's Paul Motian. It's like, yeah, I got this gig at the Vanguard. Like we might record it. I don't know. Like, you want to do it? I'm like, yes. And literally showed up the day of the gig to do like a quick 1 hour rehearsal, and that was that.
oh,
And I'll tell you, I learned very fast. Paul just doesn't, like he just does it. So Paul, I don't know if you know, in the Vanguard, the gig starts at 9, the
yeah,
first
yeah.
set. So we're all sitting in the back room, and I said, Paul, I'm going to go to the bathroom before we play, and I'm washing my hands, getting ready, and it's 8:59. Like 9 o'clock hits, and they started playing, and I'm not on stage,
Oh no,
literally.
seriously?
I run out there, and he just gives me this glare, like, we started at 9,
Oh,
motherfucker. Like, I didn't know. Like most jazz clubs, you start a few minutes
yeah,
afterward.
yeah,
Oh, if it said 9, he started at 9, and that was his thing. You like super old school pro, just like I
yeah,
play from 9 to 9, 9:55 or whatever it was. That's the set done. Like no matter
yeah,
where we are. But and it was recorded by I think Winter and Winter, was it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They spelt my name wrong. They didn't quite know who I was. The whole thing was a little weird. Like, who's this guy? Like, but Paul and I, like, it just, for me, it worked great. I loved it. And
Yeah,
Paul
it's
seemed to like it.
amazing, man. Yeah.
Right after that, he hired me for his larger group, and I played for another 6 years with him until he died after that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. But how
Yeah.
was it like to play with him? Like, because like this last record, for me, it's like very Paul like composition wise. This Dust, like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what I found out about Paul Motian is that he comes from the jazz school. Like, no matter how, I mean, he's one of those people that could disguise the 32 bar form,
yeah,
but
yeah,
he was always playing. He was always playing it. It
yeah,
was always like 8 bar, 8 bar, like, but he played it in such a way that you didn't notice it happened, like,
yeah,
but in his head, he was just going ding, 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 God,
yeah,
God, and there, like it was always there, like it was solid, like it was almost hard to break out of that 8 bar kind of phraseology thing with him because he just did it, but he did it in such a way that you know, it just felt you didn't know it was there. But
yeah,
the more I
yeah,
got to
no,
play with him, I realized like, no, that's always there. That's his thing,
yeah,
and it was a revelation, and it was really I never got. It's one of those weird things where I played with him a long time, and I was very honored to do it, but I never got close to the guy as a man,
oh, wow,
and that he was close to some of the guys in the band. Like I remember him and Tony Malaby talking about food and this and what restaurant to go to or so and so or whoever we was talking to. And with me, it would be like, "Hey Matt, how's it going?" I'm like, "Good, right on." And that was about it. That was the
oh,
extent of our conversations for 6 years. So I always assumed, like, is he going to fire me? He never talks to me. He liked me. He just didn't want to talk about it. We just didn't have that kind of verbose kind of relationship.
yeah, yeah.